Here I have prompted Copilot to call the Mural API to list the widgets in a given mural and then print out the array of widgets that's returned. I've used the fetch feature to access the Mural API reference documentation so that hopefully that will help Copilot get everything right. But as we saw in experiment 5, the part where we're printing out the array of widgets isn't correct. It's printing out all of the data that's returned, but what we really need is the array that's in the value field. And so just like in experiment 5, Copilot didn't get this right. If I do the same thing again, but this time I use the fetch command to fetch a local copy of the Mural API reference that I have rewritten and republished in my own little doc app, now Copilot can get it right. You can see that when it's doing the printing, it's printing the value field. So what's going on there? Here's the Mural API reference documentation. And it has good information there, but under the covers, of course, I don't know for sure exactly how Copilot does it, but under the covers, that fetch feature is going to scrape this web page somehow. For example, here's a Python script that, given a URL, scrapes the HTML contents of that page and then formats it in plain text. When I scrape that Mural API reference page, you can see there's the navigation stuff here, and then at the very bottom is the only content that's relevant, and it's not very much. So if this is what Copilot was seeing, no wonder it didn't know what the format of the output was. Even though the information's there on the web page for human readers, when Copilot's trying to scrape that page, there's lots of information that's missing. Now, here is the local pretend doc app that was created in experiment 6. And you can see it has exactly the same information that was on the Mural official documentation. But what's different about it is that under the covers, the way this was built is that when you scrape this page, all of the reference information is available there really nicely. So no wonder Copilot was more successful scraping this page. Okay, let's try it again with the create widget use case. I'm prompting Copilot to use the Mural API to create a new sticky note and add it to the mural, and then print out the ID of the widget that gets created by that. And here we have the same problems we had in experiment 5. The data that's getting passed to the call is missing some mandatory fields, and also where it's supposed to be printing out the ID of the widget that gets generated, those fields are all wrong, just like they were in experiment 5. So here's the reference information on the website for the Mural API reference. And this looks lovely for humans. But again, when I scrape that using that same Python script, you can see that actually there's very little information that's available to Copilot. If I try that little prompt again, but this time I have it scraping my local doc app version. Here you can see the required fields are there. The values that are being specified for the fields are valid. And when it comes to printing out the widget ID, that's also correct now. Here's what the local doc app looks like. The content's all the same as what was in the official Mural documentation, but it's been written and formatted and published in such a way that when Copilot scrapes this page, it's able to get all of the reference details that you can see there. So the fact that Copilot cannot successfully list the widgets and print them out, or create a new widget and print out the ID that gets generated, the fact that Copilot can't do that in these cases, even though we're using the fetch feature with the Mural API docs, it's not Copilot's fault. It's because the way the Mural API docs are published, the relevant reference information is not available to the model that's trying to scrape that page. But when I copy the same content, but I put it into a file such that when you scrape the page, you can get all the text, then Copilot is successful. If Mural wants AI-integrated programming environments like Copilot and Visual Studio Code to be successful with the Mural API, that means the Mural content team needs to optimize the API reference so that Copilot can scrape this content. Similarly, if the company wants function calling AI agents to interact with murals, there again, you need to make sure that the agents can scrape these API reference pages successfully and then be able to make successful API calls.